Hey you guys, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jasmine and happy Monday. Okay, so I'm making this video pretty early. Normally I make them a few hours from now, but there was something that I really wanted to talk to you guys about. So if you don't know, if you're new, like I said, I lost 100 pounds. And I did that over the course of 2 years by eating a lot better. I've been vegan for 2.5 years and weightlifting. And my weight loss and fitness channel documents like all of that. If you're interested, make sure to check that out. Losing weight was definitely the hardest thing I've ever done. And I'm sharing this with you guys on this channel because I'm all about motivating and inspiring you guys to be the best version of yourself. And that's because that's the journey that I'm on. I've been on that journey for a very long time, I would say about 4 years. And it is by far the best journey that I've been on. However, losing weight was the hardest thing that I've done. And I've done a lot of great things. Not to toot my own horn, but I feel like we all should toot our own horns. I bought a house before the age of 30. I sold it, but I bought a house. I got a bachelor's degree. I started running my own business, and I've been making six figures since running my business during COVID. And all of those things were really hard. However, weight loss was by far the hardest. Why? Because I had to completely change who I was. And in order to be successful on a weight loss journey, especially if you had to lose as much weight as me, I lost 100 pounds, you have to completely change everything about you. I had been overweight my entire life. I used food to cope with things that I had going on, whether I was stressed or sad, depressed, anxious, bored. Any emotion that I had, happy, I always used food to deal with that, right? And I was choosing unhealthy foods, and therefore that's how I got big. I didn't know how to handle my emotions. I didn't know how to process things. I didn't know how to just attack something head on. I was using food as a way to hide behind my emotions because when I was eating the foods that I wanted, it felt great. Then I would be super full and I was just on that euphoric rush, right? I feel like I've never done drugs before, but I feel like it's a very similar type of rush where you just feel so full, so stuffed that it just like relaxes you and then you fall asleep. Like that's literally what I would do. So, I wasn't handling things. I was just running from it. On top of that, I was never active. I played basketball for a little bit of time, but for most of my life, I was not very active. I barely walked. I would just kind of hang out on the couch all day long. And so I had to change all of that. I had to learn how to deal with what I was running from. I also was a heavy drinker. I've shared with you guys in previous videos, I struggled with alcohol abuse. I was drinking every single day, and I had to change that as well. And I'm telling you guys this because change is possible. Change is possible. A lot of times we're fearful of change because that requires doing something that's really hard, which is what a lot of us don't want to do. We like to take the easy route. We like to be in our comfort zone. We like to know what's going on. We like to feel like we're in control of things, right? And so, in order to change, you aren't in control anymore, right? Now you're going to feel these emotions that you're not used to feeling that are very uncomfortable. You're going to be doing things that you're not used to doing, that you've probably been doing your whole life, like me when it came to food. You may be afraid of looking stupid because you're trying new things and you're so worried about what others are going to say about you and what they're going to think. There's a long list of reasons as to why we fear change. And unfortunately, most of us don't change because we are so comfortable in that comfort zone. Now I take comfort. I don't like to be comfortable. I like to constantly be doing things that are making me feel like I don't know what's going to happen. But that came over time. If you want to live a happier life, if you want to live stress free, if you want to do things every single day that are towards your purpose, you have got to learn how to be okay with change. Another example, when I quit my job, I started an OnlyFans. This was 4 years ago. And my OnlyFans was not making enough money to pay my bills. And I had just bought my house. And so, imagine the amount of stress I had. Oh my gosh, I'm not even in this house for a whole year, yada, yada, yada. But I hated my job so much, they had like kind of forced me to quit in a sense. I had been there for 6 years, literally hating every single day. So I had grown tired of it. And at that point, when I quit, I just didn't give a fuck anymore, just to be honest. I was over it. And so I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have any money in savings. Literally everything I had went to that down payment of that house. But because I was no longer in my comfort zone, which was going to work every single day and being miserable, it forced me to change. Because if I couldn't figure out how to make my OnlyFans profitable in a short period of time before stuff starts getting cut off, right? I was going to lose everything that I had. And it's not the end of the world. I believe that whatever you lose, you can always get back and better. So, but I didn't have that mindset back then. Now I do. But back then I didn't. But if you're struggling with that, just know you can always get it back. But I knew I needed to figure out what to do to start making money and making money fast. So being in that era of discomfort and really having to grind and hustle and figure out my next move and how I was going to make this OnlyFans shake forced me to change. And I changed very quickly because I needed to start making money. And I did that. And I never lost my house. Nothing got cut off. I always had food to eat. But that's because I faced this change head on. I didn't run from it. Okay? So back to you. If you're struggling with changing who you are, just know that change is inevitable. We have to change. In order to do better, in order to feel better, in order to manifest the life that we want, we have to change. We can't be that person that we were before, or the things that we want are never going to come to us, because the person that we are today may not be ready for all of the wonderful things that the universe has to offer us, which means it's going to require change. That change might be changing your environment. It might mean changing the people that you associate yourself with. It might mean changing jobs. It might mean changing how you think. A lot of times it's about changing how you think and your mindset. But change is inevitable. And you have to ask yourself, how much longer do you want to live the life that you're living? Do you see yourself enjoying the life that you're living for the next 50 years, 60, 70 years? If nothing changed in your life, would you be okay with that? If the answer is no, then that means you have to change. Okay? And there's never been a time where I changed myself and something good didn't come out of it. There has never been a time where I regretted changing who I was, because nothing but positive things came out of me changing. After losing 100 pounds, I've never reflected and been like, dang, I wish I had stayed that same person who was 340 pounds. Throughout my entire entrepreneurial journey, there's never been a moment where I was like, dang, I wish I was still that same girl from 5 years ago. I've gotten stronger, not just physically, but mentally. But that's because I welcomed change. So don't look at change as a bad thing. Change is a beautiful thing. It's an essential thing. You ever been around people who have literally been the same since you met them? Like, they have not changed? Now that's scary. Now that's scary. To be the same person for 5 years, 10 years, some people 20 years with the same problems and nothing changed. I don't know about you, but to me that's scarier than me just changing myself. To not change is scary. So embrace change. Know that it's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you happier. It's going to make you feel more fulfilled. It's going to allow you to believe that you can achieve anything that you want in life. But you have to take that first step. And actually work on change. Okay? Bye, you guys.